Hello and welcome. My name is Saja Brown, and today we're going to be talking about seasonal depression. And now I chose this topic as a topic for today's video because it is getting colder outside. The degrees are dropping. The holiday season is setting in, and during this time, a lot of people feel very isolated and alone. And this loneliness, this isolation can be the perfect environment for the enemy to attack you spiritually. And so I thought it important to highlight 5 things that you should do this holiday season to ward off seasonal depression. And so without further ado, let's get into our very first point, which is let hope return. And the verse for this point is Jeremiah 29 verse 11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." I know right now many of you are feeling very hopeless. You feel as though hope will never return. And though I don't want you to fake optimism and fake happiness, I do want you to leave a little bit of room for the possibility of better days to sneak in. And the reason why I say this is because there's so many people out there who end up in cycles and in habits that they cannot break. And this is because they allowed feelings that were seasonal to become generational. They allowed feelings and emotions that were only meant to be here for a short period of time to become all-encompassing in their lives. And I don't want that to happen for you guys. So leave a little bit of room for the potential for life to get better. And yeah, that is our very first point. So moving right along, we have our point number 2, which is settle in your purpose. And the verse for this point is Ephesians 2 verse 10, which says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." Listen, whenever you're being overcome by negative emotions, it's due to a lack of stability. It is due to a lack of stability. It's because the things in your life don't feel properly positioned. And so, in order to combat those unstable emotions, get an idea of what your purpose is. Get an idea of what your purpose is. Who does God want me to be today? Inquire of God, because if you can find some purpose, your day can find some stability. Inquire of God. Seek out your purpose. And yeah, that is our point number 2. Moving right along to our point number 3, we've got don't focus on the physical. And the verse for this point is Galatians 6 verse 9, which says, "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." The holiday season is a very visually stimulating time of year. Very, very visual time of year. You see the gifts, you see the relationships, you see the events. It's all very physical. And there isn't much focus on the spiritual. But if you focus on the spiritual during this season, you can get a leg up in this thing. You can get a leg up, because where some people will focus on the physical and be engulfed in what they believe is a perfect lifestyle, you'll be able to discern that behind some of these celebrations, there's greed, there's pride, there's a love of money. And so you'll realize things aren't always as good as they seem. And you'll be able to reposition your heart into valuing the things that the Lord values instead of valuing the things that the earth values. Keep those eyes on the spiritual. Keep those eyes on the spiritual. You will be forever grateful for seeing things for how they truly are. It will really protect you during the spiritual warfare that takes place during this time of year. And yeah, that was our point number 3. For point number 4, we have focus on yourself. And the verse for this point is Proverbs 4 verse 23, which says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Please put yourself on your own list of priorities this holiday season. Please put yourself on your own list of priorities this holiday season. Hey, how am I doing today? How am I feeling? What do I need to get done? How's my relationship with God? Like I said, this season is very visually stimulating, and it's very quick to distract you from all other things taking place, including yourself. So take a moment, zero out on the festivities, and zero in on yourself. Pause and reflect. Am I good? Am I even good? Um, yeah, check in on yourself. That's going to be one of the best ways that you can ward off seasonal depression. Check in on yourself. For our very last point, we have keep your eyes on the bigger picture. And the verse for this point is 2 Thessalonians 3, verse 3, which says, "But the Lord is faithful. He will establish you and guard you against the evil one." Forget Santa. Focus on Jesus. Focus on Jesus. That is going to be the number one way in which you can protect yourself against any spiritual attacks that are going to be coming against you during this time. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on your salvation. Keep your eyes on your relationship with God and your walk with Him. And you'll be good. God will keep you. Keep your eyes on the Lord, and He can keep you in perfect peace. And yeah, I think that's everything. I'm Saja Brown, and I just gave you 5 ways in which you can ward off seasonal depression. And so without further ado, like, comment, share, do all the things. And yeah, that's everything. So as per usual, I'm not going to do all that, but